All right, YouTube singers. Well, here's another biggie. This is Quando main vault by Puccini. Probably the one of the greatest yardstick audition arias. Three high B's, very short. It's only 2 pages, and almost any pianist can play it. So you'll be guaranteed to get asked another aria in an audition if you sing this. Mainly, I've started this channel for my own clients as a supplement to regular coachings. This does not replace your regular coachings, but just think about how much more prepared you will be with your Italian language when you do go into your coachings after watching these videos. Another caveat is I am not a native speaker. This is a formula I've come up with over the year from the perspective of Americans, so in non-Italian singers, how to have a formula to make your singing sound as accentless as possible. My family grew up speaking Neapolitan Italian, so I had to learn libretto Italian, which is completely different from spoken Italian. It's comparable to Shakespeare, even though Puccini is a little bit more modern than, say, a Mozart libretto or a Verdi libretto. It is still antiquated Italian and very lofty by a typical Italian today, speaking on the street. Okay, so here we go. I will go through every word one at a time, and then we'll do whole lines. And the other goal of this video is to kind of go over some of the common things I hear wrong and some of the tricks to fix that. Okay, so here we go. Quando main va. So the first thing is that the quando is high in the palate and it goes around. Quando, quando. Right? And Puccini wrote that con, I believe, con molta grazia ed eleganza, right? So quando, right? So it's a very nice R vowel, and the N kind of sings into the D. Now, main va is short for me ne vado, right? Me ne vado, right? That means, I go out when I go around, right? So the A of the me is closed. The N assimilates into the V, and right away this is the hardest N to sound Italian on, because if I show you the side view, so you're going to say vo. So the bottom lip is going to touch the top teeth to make a V. Vo. So the N goes right there where the V is going to be. Main vo. Right? So now there are two things you can do wrong. Number one is you can put the N inside your mouth. I hear this all the time, right? People come in, they sing Quando me ne vo, and now what happens? Me ne vo. You have a shadow vowel as you go to the V, right? So if you do it correctly, me vo. Right, straight ahead legato, right? And you don't break your legato doing that. Now, the other thing to do wrong is to exaggerate it and stay overly phonated on that lip thing, right? So you can do quando mengo, and then then somebody say, who told you to do that, right? Oh, my coach did. Well, he's wrong. No, actually, he wasn't wrong. He gave you the right information, but you exaggerated it. So now he's taking the heat for you exaggerating what that was, you see. So again, you want it not to call attention to itself. Quando me va, straight ahead legato. Okay, so a lot of people in the wrong hands, this aria right from the bat, right off the bat, you can make 5 mistakes in 3 words, right? Okay, next word, soletta. So it's all closed, right? Soletta. Double T. So how we do the double T is we go right up to the T, but we don't say it. And then this is for singing, right? You can speak and go soletta, and you can shorten stuff. But when you sing, it has to be elongated, right? So the vowel before the double T is elongated. Soletta, right? Notice that I do not do two T's, even though it is a double T, and your coach will tell you there's a double T there. There are not two T's, there's a space. There's a stop in phonation. Single T, I'll demonstrate single T. Soletta, see? Single T. No stop in the phonation. Soletta, right? And this is the big difference in Spanish speaking and Italian speaking, because a lot of these things, when you go straight through with single T's, there's almost no double T in this instance, right? So soletta. Okay, going on. Per, it doesn't rhyme with the fruit. Per, no. The R is its own position, coming from the A. Per. So your A, per, not pear, right? You don't ever want to make an American R, right? Per la via, via. So, right, that's a tricky little thing when you get with the orchestra, that you have one note written and it's actually two syllables. Via, right? And the violins have that right with you. So they have to listen and kind of hear you put another note that's not there and follow you. So via. So the whole first line. Quando menvo soletta per la via. Going on. La gente. Okay, la gente. So there's no double G at the beginning. I hear Americans a lot of times going la gente, doubling, right? So gente. So we talk about open and closed vowels. So the first E in gente is open, meaning that it's a. It doesn't mean it's any more open in your throats. It just means a versus a, right? A, right? Open. It's still open, right? But it's a closed E. A, open, A, closed, right? So everything that's stressed can either be open or closed. Everything that's unstressed is closed, okay? Even though you see it in the diction books as open. And what they're guarding against in the diction books is you seeing them to A, really closed down, right? A, right? So that's what they're meaning when they're opening them up. Does not mean A. And it's actual vocal suicide if you do that, right? If you start to open all the unstressed, you just can't get going. You can't keep your voice going forward. So la gente, so the stressed is open. Now, there's no rule with open on the stressed, open and closed. So there's a certain percentage of them that are open. There are a certain percentage that are closed. You cannot go by a rule. You have to memorize. Or you can notate in each aria and at least memorize the words for your aria. So all you have to do, the good news is, all you have to do is worry about the stressed vowels in your words, because those are the only ones that can change. The unstressed, again, are all closed. So gente, sɔsta. Again, you have a stressed vowel, but it's open, okay? Mmira. So now we have something that's called a strong monosyllable. The word a, which is and, causes the next consonant to double. Now, a lot of monosyllables do this, and it's actually easier to memorize the weak monosyllables than the strong. Most monosyllables can be assumed to be a strong monosyllable, cause a doubling. Okay, I'm bombarding you with information right now, and after all of these formulas are given, it will just be a repetition. Okay, so sɔsta mmira. You see, I double the M just a little bit. So to double an M, I just go right. If I exaggerate that, it becomes vulgar, right? So when you're singing, you have to very carefully listen to Italian singers, and you'll hear that they just do just a touch, right? So sɔsta mmira, oh, just enough, but sɔsta mmira, right? Then no, it's too much, it's vulgar. Okay, so again, you want to be very, very careful with that it's everything that you do is always elegant. Next, here we have A again, so it's going to double the L of la. So A la la bellezza. So now here we have bellezza. You have a stressed vowel, but it's also closed. So everything in bellezza is closed E, right? So la bellezza mia, right? So that what I just did was a little exaggerated for speech. If you went around talking like that, people would think you were weird. But for singing, it should come out right. Okay, so that's the other thing to take into consideration when I'm doing this, because a lot of this is slower than speech, so you do have to exaggerate things that way, right? Even though I'm saying don't exaggerate phrasal doublings and things. Okay, so tutta. Here's what I hear all the time: people singing tutta. So they shorten that first oo and they clip that double T, right? And it comes out as not being Italian, right? So you have to go tutta, so that the oo is longer. Then you stop the phonation and then you sing one T. So tutta, okay? Tutta. When you speak, you can say tutta, right? It's fine. When you sing, you can't do that. Tutta. There are a lot of things in lyric Italian where you have to elongate things that you don't actually elongate in speech. Okay? Ricerca, right? So it's a. Ricerca, right? It doesn't rhyme with chair. Chair, no, not chair, right? Cerca, like, hey, get in the house, come on, right? Imme, okay, now what just happened there? The N before an M assimilates, okay? So N does whatever the next consonant does, right? So I'll break it down for you. I'm going to say me, right? Me, right? So my lips come together, me. And if I were at La Scala, I would say me, right? In La Scala, you open up the ends of me, te, all of that, right? And you'll see that in the Nico Castel books where those are open, okay? And Puccini might have wanted you to sing me because it rhymes with ppiɛ coming up. So anyway, I'm just going to do standard normal Italian, and you could do whatever you want. So ricerca in me. See, the N, again, I digress. The N assimilates to an M. Why? Because if I were to put that N in my mouth like this, in me, I have to do another vowel, right? Called the shadow vowel. Watch again. In me. See, there's no way I can go in me. In me. Yeah, I could, right? In me. But a lot of times that happens, right? So what happens in speech is that's bypassed. Imme, 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 imme. You see, straight across. Now, again, I can exaggerate it and make it sound wrong, right? Imme, and you really hold on to the M, and you can't phonate, right? Very long, so it has to go straight ahead. And the whole point of that is to get that leap going nice and legatissimo. Okay, so. Going on, da capo a ppiɛ. So ppiɛ is open because it's short for piede, right? So truncated words in Italian usually end on the stress and they're open. So there's one rule for you on stressed vowels. They're usually going to be open when there's a truncation. Ppiɛ, short for piede. Okay, so if you notice, I had slight phrasal doublings again. Da capo, double C, a ppiɛ, right? And again, doing it too much, da capo, a ppiɛ, right? So it's an American thing because Americans, we tend, when we get excited, we go on the consonant. You dirty ah. In Italian, we go you dirty ah. So the vowels get longer. Okay, so your default always is long vowels going up to double consonants. If you remember that, you won't go astray. Going on, ed is a guy, he drives a cab, right? Ed, assaporo, all closed, allor. So double L allor. So the R is rolled because R's that touch consonants are rolled. R's that are surrounded by vowels are flipped. Okay? So double L, closed O, rolled R. Allor. La bramosia. La bramosia. No double B, right? La is a weak monosyllable. The definite article, the. Weak monosyllable does not cause a doubling. La bramosia, right? I hear Americans, la bramo. No. La bramosia. So how you ensure that you have a single consonant is that the vowel goes la bramosia. And notice that the accent is on the E. It's not a semivowel. La bramosia. Sottil. So, double T again, right? You go up to the double T, you stop, make a space, double T, right? Only one T though, right? We call it a double T. Sottil, right? Different than speech. When you sing, you must do that, right? Che dagli occhi, gli occhi. Okay, hard for Americans to do this. Gli. So, you start with an L, and then a Y. Ye, right? So if you start from the second part, ye. Now put an L before it. Ye, right? And then you can just do it over and over and over again. And then you have liocchi. So you see it goes around and around in your head, right? It starts up here, liocchi, and it comes back up again, right? Double C, you go up to the double C, you stop. Traspira. Okay, if you speak, you can say traspira with a s. But when you sing, you have to say traspira. Otherwise, it's ugly in the theater. Too many S's are ugly in the theater. Traspira, right? You see what I mean? Traspira. So almost as if it's a double consonant, but the legato keeps going. Okay, going on. Ddai. Slight double D, right? Palesi, all closed. Vezzi, closed D. I hear vezzi all the time. Americans, we love open vowels before a double consonant. In fact, I've seen some people coming out of universities where their teachers are saying, oh yeah, double consonant, open the vowel. There's no rule. Right? So here we have a double consonant with a closed vowel. Vezzi. And it's TZ. Right? Not DZ. There's a time for DZ. Okay. Next. Intendere. So intender. Right? So all the ere verbs, if you want to rule, all the ere verbs are closed. Credere. Right? Right? The ending, I mean, right? So the a of the stress, intendere. You see? The ere part of it is closed. So all the infinitives, the ere, are closed E's. But the stress changes, right? Intendere. Sa. Okay, going on. Alle. Again, there's my double L. Occulte. Okay, I'm doing everything in slow motion, so we get it. Here's another one. Beltà. Okay, so remember that unstressed E's are closed, right? Beltà is a truncated word. It's short for beltade, right? So we cut off the de from Latin. We cut it off. We put that accent grave. Tells us, all it does is it tells us that that's a truncated word. The E is not open, right? Bello, it's open, right? Beltade, because it's unstressed. It's a, okay? That's one that if we're not thinking as Americans, we're going to go right? And every time we go we open and we go kind of out of our resonance. Okay, going on. Così, the accent's on the Z. Così l'effluvio. So here we have a double syllable word that causes a phrasal doubling because of the short accent at the end. double L, right? So very little, very slightly. Così le fluvio, not le fluvio. I hear that all the time. Le fluvio del desìo, right? Closed. Tutta, double T. Magira, see, is a DG, right? Magira, and that makes a double G. Felice mi fa. Okay, so this line right here where it says espansivo, right? It is the best line to practice single consonants, right? Vowels, right? I hear Americans all the time, Feli, double in the L, mi fa, and double in the F, right? No, it's all vowel. Felice, mi fa. So you practice that. Just feel those vowels. You can even do a. It should feel exactly the same with the consonants. Now, I am in no way minimizing the consonants. The consonants are still sharp as can be in there, right? But the vowels are long. Okay, so now here, this next line, you have all kinds of doubling words, strong monosyllables. So it presents you with a choice, and I'll explain further. So you have e tu che sai, right? So a is a strong monosyllable, tu is a strong monosyllable, che is a strong monosyllable, right? So you cannot double everything. You can double every other, right? So I can get the A to double the 2, and I can get the K to double the S. This is option 1. So, like this. E tu che sai. Okay? I can't do all of them. Watch how funny this will sound if I do all of them. E tu che sai. See? Too choppy, right? We don't like choppy, right? Now, there's another way to do it. Right? I'll do number 1 again. E tu che sai, right? Double T, double S. Now, I could just double the K, right? So I could say e tu che sai. Nice too, right? So you have 2 options on this. I don't care which one you do, as long as you do it and you do it and present it with gusto, right? That's the name of the game, right? Che memori. Okay, so the stress on this word is on the first syllable. It's the anti-penultimate syllable, right? Memory. So it's also a stressed one that's open, and then the O is closed. I hear the opposite all the time. E ti struggi. Struggi. Right? So, e ti struggi. Da me tanto rifugi. So I think Puccini doubles the T. You could say da me. It's not as nice. It's not as elegant. Da me tanto rifugi is way better, right? I left the other one as an option. The complete text of this aria is below the video. And a bunch of other links to my own personal shameless promotion. Let's go on. So, see, so that I hear so all the time. I hear major opera houses people singing so, right? Major famous people, you know who you are. So, it's open. And it's short. So ben, right? Slight double B. Then we talk about double B. If you're going to do double B in Italian, it doesn't stop phonation. Americans double B with the vengeance. We're really good at doubling B. We're too good at doubling B, right? So if you hear, oh mio babbino, right? There's a double B, but it's babbino. It doesn't stop. It doesn't go bop and stop, right? So the same thing. So you can't sing so ben or so ben. That's double B. Just enough, right? Bene. Open, right? Le angosce. Okay, so gosce. That sh thing is a double consonant as far as Italians are concerned. She, right? So what does that mean? It means that you stop the phonation, especially in singing, right? You can get away with it in speech. Angosce, angosce, right? But in singing, you have to be very careful that the first syllable remains on that first note, and then the she is completely on the next note. Here, I'll do it. Angosce, angosce, angosce. You see? So Italians do that. It goes by really fast, but it's considered a double consonant. Okay? Angosce tue, tue. So you stay on the U. Non le vuoi. That's really that in slow motion. So when you sing, it's vuoi, vuoi. It's not vuoi. It doesn't rhyme with boy, right? In fact, Italians don't even say I saw a boy. They say I saw a boy. I saw a boy, right? Boy. It rhymes with like David Bowie, and then the open one is rhyming boy. If you did it open, right? You think David Bowie. Boy. There you go. So you have to open your mouth, right? Dire, right? That's the real word. We're cutting it short. Dire, to say dir. And then, because it ends in an R, you roll it. Matti, see, double T, matti. Now, the space gives you the emotion, not the T. It's not matti. And for God's sake, please do not put puff of air in your T. That's your first giveaway. You might as well wrap an American flag around yourself and say, hey, I'm American, right? Matti. Double T. Senti. Notice that N. Senti. Morir. Okay, confusions about R. Everybody's confused. I don't know what the big deal is. The first R is surrounded by vowels. Right? First R surrounded by vowels. It's flipped. The second vowel ends. So it rolls. Morir. Right? And the R's do not go into the E vowel. They do not influence. It would be like if you had paint and you had all these nice containers to keep the paint separate, right? The R is one color, say it's blue, and the E is another color, it's red, and right? So they don't mix. Americans mix paint when we speak. They were like morire. You see, we chew and our vowels go like r r r like that. They do not. It's morire. See, morire, morir. Okay, so I hope that makes that clear. All right, so now I will read the whole thing line by line, so you get some line and legato. The big thing when you read a whole line is to find that there's only one down. The Italian sentence is like a wave crashing at the beach, right? So it's just one down. Okay, now you can also pause the video. I won't leave you pauses to repeat, so you can just pause the video as I say each line. Okay, so here we go. Quando me vo soletta per la via. So via is where we're going. La gente sɔsta mmira. E la bellezza mia tutta ricerca in me da capo a ppiɛ. Ed assaporo allor la bramosia Sottil, che dagli occhi traspira, e dai palesi vezzi intender sa, alle occulte beltà. Così l'effluvio del desìo tutta m'aggira, Felice mi fa, e tu che sai, che memori e ti struggi, da me tanto rifugi, or da me tanto rifugi, so ben le angosce tue non le vuoi dir, ma ti senti morir. If you enjoy this video, please like it, please share, please help me go viral, please subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next video.